If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
Dr. Jon Segars, Superintendent of the Board of Education, Sylacauga City Schools, joins us. And Dr. Segars, first day is under your belt.
Yes, sir. Great first day, too, and certainly ready for today being the second day.
Talk about first day challenges.
Well, you always want to make sure that the buses are ready, they're on time. Of course, movement is our most dangerous operation in a day, any day. So buses are big, and certainly make sure that everything works. Of course, we did that long before the first day, but you always hold your breath and make sure we don't have any air conditioners that are broken and bells ring on time and things like that. And then the rest of it is just simple leadership. Children a little confused, a little out of place, long summer, and just teachers and administrators getting them in the right place and making sure they're comfortable.
And you got everybody coming back at the same time.
Everybody at the same time. So traffic jams, and we certainly thank our chief of police and his organization for making sure that the roads are safe, the intersections are clear, and he had patrol officers on duty all over the place yesterday. It was great.
I think we got some pictures from first day of school throughout the area, and it's all about connections, isn't it?
That's right. I love that one right there. Paula Bruno, new principal at Indian Valley. And I actually took that picture yesterday as I saw her helping that child.
You get into television, man. You do a good job.
I have a good camera. But we're excited about 27 new employees, and we filled 35 positions this year.
Wow.
So you'll see a lot of new faces on these pictures, and it's great. We've got some real talent out there.
And it's a lot for kids to digest the first day.
It is. I know. I've got an 11-year-old who started middle school for her first day of middle school yesterday, so we're feeling it at home too. She's a little out of sorts right now, but she'll get there in a couple of days.
9-year-old's the same way.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at all that, and I'm saying, wow.
It's a lot to handle.
Yeah, sure is. But you talked about pre-planning and getting things in order before the first day. It takes a lot of that.
I tell you, June and July are busy months, and people don't realize that, but a lot goes into June and July. Principals work hard getting their buildings in order. Our maintenance staff works extremely hard making sure everything is right. So we're certainly proud of that, so that on day one, everything looks like it's flowing just like it's day 30.
Yeah. How many buses do we have on the road?
We have 15 normal routes. We do have 25 buses. So in addition to normal routes, you also have routes throughout the day and then athletic routes. So there's movement all the time. So it's a challenging thing, but it's good.
What are some things that are new this year in school?
Well, the state has changed a lot of things. We've got a new math course of study coming to us soon. It will be voted on at the state level here somewhere around mid-year. So we're preparing for a new math course of study, which changes things in the secondary ranks, 6 through 12. We also are taking a hard look at computer science, and of course we know the importance of that. We have computer science in all grade levels now, but the state is going to mandate over the next few years how you do computer science and what standards are covered. So we've been preparing for that for years, but now it's going to cause us to really take a deep look at what standards we're covering and who's teaching those standards. So those are two big ones right there that we're looking at.
Now, you were all over the place yesterday along with your staff and everything. Tell me a good news story from yesterday.
Well, the best news story is those new teachers. I mean, they look like old pros in there, and some of them are right out of college. So we took some time to make them comfortable, make sure they knew where everything was. And I told them, I said, it doesn't matter what you teach on the first day. What matters is that you know what to do in case of an emergency. So if something out of the ordinary happens, you know what to do, and you don't look panicked in front of those children. You look like you know exactly what you're doing, and every one of them do. So that's great news for us.
And whether the child is first time in school or maybe they're changing school locations, it's a challenge for them.
It is. I saw something at Nichols Lawson that's interesting yesterday. We had members of our police force and members of our fire department helping children open lockers for the first time. Sixth graders have never done that before, and most of them have never seen a combination lock. So, we appreciate those organizations being there, and they stayed all day helping us, so that was great.
SRO officers, where are we at on that?
We have one in every school. Okay. We're certainly proud of that. Most Most school systems can't say that they have one in every school. And, you know, those police officers are not only there for safety, but they're there to teach. The kids learn about law enforcement, they learn about safety, they learn about all sorts of things that those officers can bring. So they're just another teacher in the classroom.
And they're sets of eyes that all of us have in school, always ever watching to prevent maybe a possible issue.
Well, and certainly they're a visible deterrent. People see a police officer, I mean, they're less likely to go try to do something bad. And, you know, it's unfortunate that we have to look at it that way, but, you know, I love seeing that police officer in the halls. And the students don't look at that officer as intimidating. They look at that officer as a friend, a teacher, a mentor. So, you know, those things are all positive.
And teachers are another set of eyes.
Well, they are, and I told them in our in-service day that our security plan is based on everybody doing their job, whether it's the custodian, whether it's the lunchroom worker, whether it's the teacher in the hallway. If everybody's doing their job, we don't have problems.
Crossing guards, with the volume of traffic, crossing guards are a must.
Well, and the first phone call I received yesterday morning was Chief Johnson. And I said, Chief, we okay? He said, we're fine. He says, I'm heading to Indian Valley. He said, we got a little traffic flow problem there. He says, I'll be on the street.
All right.
So, you know, those things are great, and the community realizes that it was the biggest show in town yesterday, and you know we had to be careful with it. But you know, our police force and just the community in general have done just a great job of making sure that we get parents and students into schools and then out of schools and parents on to work. Yeah. So the flow was fine.
How many students?
We're right at about 2,100.
Oh wow!
And you know that will fluctuate over the next 20 days. And what happens after 20 days is we get our count of how many students we have for what we call average daily membership. And that drives our funding. So we always want to make sure that we have those numbers right and that we continue to increase our numbers over the next few days. So 2,100 is a good target for us.
Dr. Jon Segars, our guest this morning, Superintendent of the Sylacauga City Board of Education, day 2 of school today. Of course, Talladega County schools start today as well, so extra traffic out there, so be very, very careful as you travel this morning. What are you most proud of so far in your tenure here as superintendent?
I'm proud of our staffs, our people that are just true professionals. You know, we talk about a teacher shortage. We talk about, you know, you see in the news all the time that people don't want to be teachers because of low pay, poor conditions. We don't have that in our system. We've got people who are motivated, who like to come to work every day, and you can see the results in the children and in the success that the students have had in all areas over the last few years and certainly beyond. But I mean, this is a people business, and I'm proud of the 300 or more people that we employ over a year or so.
Yeah, as you well know, we do a Star Student of the Month every day here on Daybreak Live, and a number of those students, when you ask them questions from youngest to seniors, high school, their quest is to become a teacher.
That's right, and we hope they do. And we do have some that graduated from Sylacauga High that are in college right now that we're already talking to about coming back and being a teacher. Matter of fact, I know one that I've already told her this summer or in the spring when her opportunity comes up to do an internship. We want her right back here, and then we want her in the classroom the next year. We know the caliber of a person she is, and we know the intelligence level, and I know I can hold a spot for her and get her back in our system. But if we can grow our own, it really says something about our system.
Most asked question day 1.
Where's the gym? Every school starts similarly with a gathering in the gym, an assembly of some sort. So as I walk through the halls, you see this one lone child carrying a book bag and a lunch bag or whatever, and they look at you and they have this, they're like, do you know where the gym is? I'm like, matter of fact, I do. Come on with me. Let's go to the gym. Yeah. But you know, it's intimidating when they go to a new school. It's so big, it's so different, and they walk around, they're scared to ask. But you know, you can tell when you see one lone child out there, it's like, come on, follow me.
Yeah. Day 2 a little bit different than day 1?
Day 2 is a little different. The teachers are tired. They didn't realize how tired they were until they got up this morning. The students are tired. The excitement is not worn off yet, but the reality is starting to set in that summer's over with. But now they start to get into the routine. yesterday was, again, all excitement, new friends, new teachers, but today it's like, okay, here are the standards, here's what happens at this time, I want you to get out your notebook now, I want you to do these things. So I think when the reality sets in, people it's not a lull, but it's one of those things like, this is real, it's really happening, so let's get it on. And then, by day 3 or 4, the routine is there.
Very quickly, before we go this morning, I want to ask you about, of course, there's getting the students to school. But then there's the after school. There's oftentimes a logjam. It gets better as the days and weeks go along, but I guess you preach patience.
Well, you do, and we have a lot of things that with after school activities that the day doesn't end at 3 o'clock or 3:30. We have 75 students at Pinecrest that go through the Bridges program in our relationship with SAFE. We have 45 at Indian Valley. We'll have some more at Nichols Lawson. You've got all these athletic events in the afternoon. Football season is building. So the day is full. So, thinking about the end of the day, it doesn't really end until dark most times. So it's a full day of activity, and a lot of people aren't used to that.
Yeah. Dr. Segars, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Sir.
Let's have a great school year.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Jon Segars, Superintendent of Sylacauga City Board of Education, our guest this morning. More Daybreak Live after this.